Then it is related to appraisal system. So appraisal system can be formal and informal, that depends upon the organization itself. In the very small size organization, definitely the informal system can work, but the formal system works out where do you have large number of employees over there. So informal system is possible in very small organization where employees contribution is readily visible. Informal means when we will be talking to the employee over there, you can simply judge the employee. So if we are a team of 5 members, definitely I'll be knowing each and every employee over there. But if the size of the team is 1000, definitely it's quite impossible that I'll be just appraising some employee just based upon my judgment, because it may be the case that even I would not have been coming across the employee throughout the year. Okay, so in that particular case, the formal system is required, but where the organization's size is small, in that case, informal system will also work well. Okay. Now let us have a look at the objectives of the appraisal system over here. First of all, it is related to judgmental objective. What is it is basically for? If you want to give an increase to the employee, if you want to transfer the employee for the promotion purposes, definitely we need to look into that if he's basically performing well or not. Second, it is related to developmental aspect, telling an employee that how he is doing. So if an employee is working, and you're not appreciating, you're basically not letting him know that how he is working or she is working. If the performance appraisal is being done, and definitely if it is done correctly in that particular manner, you can convey it to the employee that how he has been working, and definitely if some changes are required, we can suggest him the changes if we require changes in his attitude, in skills, behavior, etc. Further, counseling by the superior for giving feedback and understanding problems for the poor performance. If some employee is not working well, indefinitely that way we can just look into the issues that he is facing and definitely can help to resolve them. That is further counseling by the superior. So the overall objective of the performance appraisal is to improve the efficiency of the organization. So we want to help the employee. In turn, we are helping the organization so as to perform well. Further, it is related to specific objective. The system should serve to enable the organization to maintain the inventory of quality and skills of people, identify and meet their training needs. So for what it is actually related to, I already told you that employees are asset of the organization, and further organization wants to have performing assets, and further if there is any need related to training, that can also be actually looked into. Further, to determine the performance linked increments, to determine the PLIs. What is PLI? It is performance linked increment. If the employee is working hard, definitely they will be getting the incentives. And further, it also helps us to provide the data related to the transfers, promotions, etc. Further, to maintain individual and group development and fulfill their aspirations by sharing with them. Definitely, if someone is working hard, we must be sharing our views with them that yes, we know that you are working hard. It's kind of an appreciation. And further, we can also benchmark. The systems over there by skill upgradation programs. So these are the objectives. And what are the benefits? It rates all the employees in a unified manner. Now you are being, if there is a confidential report related to you being written by your superior, in that particular case, each and every employee will be assigned, will be basically rated in a unified manner. So on the same scale, all employees will be ranked. One can know that which employee is working hard. Okay, and further, it provides critical information. So I already told you that may be helpful in promotions, pay increase, benefits, transfer, training, etc. Provides information regarding areas of weaknesses. Definitely, it's not about the pros only. We also get to know about the cons of the employees, and those can also be altered or modified by way of trainings, counselings, etc. Okay. Fourth, it improves the quality of supervision. Definitely, if you know better about your subordinates, you can manage them well. You can be a good mentor, and further ensures better interpersonal relationships between the employee and the supervisor, because they will be knowing that the person is to supervise us, he is to appraise us. Definitely, we have to maintain a decorum over there, a relationship over there. Okay, those are the benefits over there. And further, now it's related to the appraisal evaluation process. It is related to the appraisal evaluation process. The process begins with the organization setting up the performance and standard. First of all, it is related to, you'll be setting up the standards, then it will be related to, we must be communicating the standards to the employees over there, and then we will be measuring the performance. We will be measuring the performance. And how one will be measuring the performance? Definitely the employee data is available with the different departments, and also we have the personal observations. The colleagues, superiors do have the observations. We can do take the feedback from the appraisee itself. That is basically related to, we need to measure the performance. First of all, it is related to chalk out the strategy related to performance standards, further conveying the performance standards to the employees, and then measuring the performance itself. Further, performance level is then compared with the benchmark of standards already established. Now you have already established the standards over there. Now you will be basically comparing the employee performance with the standards that you have already established. Further, outcome is then discussed with the employee. It's not related that we want to degrade someone or we want to depreciate someone's value over there. It's related to, if there are some issues, we will be looking into them, and further we will be conveying to the, communicating with the employee itself, so as we can do it better, so as we can do it, handle in a proper manner over there. That is related to counseling. Okay, and we will be also be covering that particular point. And sixth step, definitely it is related to, so as to take the corrective measures, so as to take the corrective measures. So this is the evaluation process, that is the appraisal evaluation process. Now let us have a look at the methods over there. We are having the two types of methods. One, it is a traditional methods, and the other one, it is a modern method over there. So first of all, we will be covering the traditional methods. So one method, it says pre-form essay method. Pre-form essay method means that your superior will be writing all about you, line by line manner, as we did in our secondary classes over there. That is related to unstructured method of appraisal. Your superior will be basically writing about your appraisal, makes a free form, open-ended appraisal of the employee. Superior is given the total freedom that he can write about the employee, about the job knowledge, his attitude, development needs, etc. And drawback, the major drawback, it is time taking, and it is objective evaluation. It is subjective evaluation. It is a subjective evaluation. And generally this type of method, this type of appraisal method is used to appraise the top management. It is used to appraise the, is basically appraise the top management, because in higher management, in top management, we do have only numbered employees, and definitely those can be basically appraised using this particular method. The second one, it is a straight ranking method. Straight ranking method basically is basically related to that we will be ranking each and every employee relatively each and every employee will be basically ranked over there. So oldest, this is the oldest and the simplest method. Relative position of each employee is assessed. Relative position of each employee is assessed. So we just take a scale over there, and based upon the performance by each of the employee, we'll be ranking them. We will be ranking them. Definitely now it's quite easy now that we can do compare them. So people are rated in order of merit and placed in a grouping, and then those are placed in a grouping. And drawback, it is related to, it basically overcomes the issue that was faced in the first method over there, that was related to the free form essay method, because it's not subjective, but definitely it's basically time consuming. It's basically time consuming, and definitely it's difficult to compare one employee with the others. Why it is so? We can do rank them, we can just get a gist about it, at where the employee is ranked, and we can get an idea about it, but definitely it's quite difficult so as to compare one employee with the others due to varying behavior traits, because behavior characteristics are not same in each and every employee. So if we are judging them based upon that particular scale, definitely it will be quite difficult, and it's very much difficult so as to compare the employees over there. The third method, it is a comparison method. The third method is the comparison method. The drawback of the straight ranking method is basically covered in this particular method. Comparison is made upon certain factors. Now we do compare using the comparison method, and that comparison is based upon some certain factors like leadership, initiative, etc. And this is also known as the factor comparison method. This is also known as the factor comparison method over there, because we do take the different factors, and further based upon those factors we do compare employees with each other. When large number of employees are there, definitely then the comparison is difficult. Otherwise it do basically cover the drawback in the straight ranking method. Okay, then it is a grading method. it is a grading method. So certain features are considered for grading. So you basically take some of the factors, some of the features, and further you basically grade employees based upon that. Scales are then decided on the base of these grades. These can be A for outstanding, B for very good, C for average, D for below average. So basically you do not basically compare the employees over there, but basically you do what? You have some factors. Based upon those factors, you rate them, and after that particularly scales are devised. Scales are devised for those particular factors, and further you just grade them as A, B, C, D. Okay, that is a grading method. Then it is graphic or linear rating method. It is graphic or linear rating method. So it is having two factors that it basically consider two factors: employee characteristics and contribution. Employee characteristics and contribution. So personal qualities such as initiative, dependability, decisiveness, etc. are measured. Rating is on a continuous scale. So it basically consider two factors. First of all, that is related to employee characteristics, and further the contribution. Okay, and based upon these factors, the employees are rated. And drawback is related to rating tends to be subjective. That rating is subjective because basically based upon some factors we basically do rate them. System assumes each character to be equally important for all the jobs. So if we are having different factors over here, we basically do take into account all the factors over there. It may be the case now that each and every factor is not important for every job type, but in this particular method we do consider that each and every factor is actually important for every job type. That is a drawback of the graphic or linear rating method. Then it is a forced choice description and distribution method. It is forced choice description and distribution method. In that particular case, superior is forced to make the choices. Superior is forced to make the choices. You are being given a table. You're being given multiple choices for every employee, and you need to select each and you need to select one of the options. You need to select one of the options. So we are having, if I say we are having 4 options over there, for each and every employee, you need to pick one. So superior is forced to make the choices. Employee is rated on predetermined distribution scale. So there will be a predetermined distribution scale that for this option there will be 10 marks, for this option there are 7 marks, then for this 5, this for 0. Okay, so now based upon these options, the superior is forced to make the choices over there. So factors normally considered for job performance and promotions. Factors which are chosen over there, those are basically considered for the job performance and promotion. In choice description method, the superior is asked to select the statements which best describe the employee. So it may be objective, or it may be the case that it is there are statements are over there and you need to select one of the statements. Okay, in same manner the superior is forced to make the choices. Okay, then it is related to group appraisal method. In this method, the employees are rated by a group of appraisers. So group of appraisers will be basically rating the employee, and basically those superiors will be immediate supervisors. And for the 3 or 4 others who have some knowledge of the employee performance are also taken along with it. So all those appraisers will be rating the employee, and the advantage is that there is minimum biasness, because it's not only one person who is rating the employee, it's a group of person who is appraising the employee. So the minimum biasness is there. Limitation is only that it is very much time consuming. Okay,